Magic as well, but pricing kind of stuff. And, that's where I kind of tend to focus. Matt's more play oriented. I'm more dollar sign value oriented.
Some of the other driving forces of it.
Financial
yeah, I totally get that.
I guess.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We got another episode of Cardboard Conversations. As always, Saturdays, 7 p.m. Thank you for joining us. So let's dive right into it. Yeah, nice big thumbs up on that.
Or should I say?
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I was just telling the guys I finished Fallout's first season over there on Amazon Prime, and I gotta say I was having a really good time watching it. I enjoyed it.
I also checked out the first episode today, but Mom's over for the weekend, so I figured that's really more me time kind of watching.
Oh yeah, I definitely get that. Especially they don't shy away from the gore, and I definitely appreciate that. I think they took some smart moves from The Boys over on Amazon Prime as well. Keeping it for some very mature moments, and then as Bob was mentioning, they definitely do some camp as well. A little bit of lightheartedness. It's an interesting mix.
It is an interesting mix, but we'll campy and kind of gratuitous. Yeah, you're right. Very, very Boys-esque feel.
Hey, The Boys was great, so I'm in.
I figure
it's in that vein for sure.
Yeah, now that I got that 30-day free trial of Amazon Prime, I might as well freshen up on The Boys. I haven't seen Invincible before, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then
is that the spinoff from The Boys?
No, it's an animated series. I don't think that they're related.
There was definitely a spinoff from The Boys. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah. They had also like a cartoon version of it too, I think. Hey, what up, Four Keeps?
So we're just kind of easing our way into it, kind of doing our little foreplay here, if you will, for the stream warm up. Didn't do a whole lot. I was a little late, just due to like dinner taking much longer to cook. I'm struggling with trying to cook pork. I either dry it out or I undercook it. Right, like it's such a finicky meat to like get done correctly.
I can understand that. Yeah. What are you trying to do? Like chops or something?
No, I was doing. I did a pork butt shoulder or something. A Boston pork butt shoulder or something. I don't know. It was basically like a pork roast in the oven, but I don't know. Still working on it, but getting better. It was edible. I did like a mustard base
every once in a while.
Did like a mustard base smear.
I do them in a crock pot. The slow cooker. I find that's a really good way to lock in some juices, and
I always dry them out.
Slow. Really?
I throw a pork loin in that joker, and it comes out like shoe leather.
Wow!
Like, dadgummit. Yeah. Huh. I actually have much better luck in the oven. Go figure.
I'm a big fan of the Instapot.
Oh, yep.
Well, I think they sell some of that down at the corner gas station. The Instapot. But
right,
right. Dookie.
That's bath salts, Bob.
It's been an interesting week for those here that are tuning in for Cardboard. I'm not sure what you guys were doing in the video game space. I didn't do a ton of that. I'm just going back through like StarCraft gameplays, but I've been watching prices, and I can't tell if they're following the stock market or crypto or what they're doing. But they're like up and down, and like I pointed out during the middle of the week or earlier in the week that the Elsa was $2,000, and now it dropped down to like $1,100, and now it's back to like $1,400, and it's like, geez Louise. And I'm looking at box prices for other things, so I plan to get into some of that tonight and go over some of the things. One of the things I'll share with you guys, kind of I don't want to call it a tip or a hint about shopping on TCG Player, but there's definitely some shenanigans going on there that I'm not a fan of at all. And it did so badly that, I even wrote in, and I got a kind of shitty response from about my complaint. So we'll get into some of that tonight. Just something to keep an eyeball out for. There you go. See, it already dropped down from 1,400 back to 1,200.
It was like under 1,000 for a moment. Yeah, somebody got one at 990.
If you look back, just like on the 10th, which is what, just a couple days
earlier
ago, it was
this week, $2,800.
Oh, look at that. 2,000, 1,000, 2,800, 1,000. What the fuck?
it's like a heartbeat monitor or something. If you're watching this crap, it's like
Oh, 2,700. I
find
feel
its
bad for
price
these
point.
people that are spending 2,000 plus on a card that's worth 1,000.
And you never really know like what those are. Like they could say 900 with $400 shipping. You know, it's like I hate that they don't track
Are
that.
any of these seeing a similar fluctuation in prices? I mean, here's $100 swing just today.
Yeah, and if you look back just a few days ago, it was all over the place.
Wow, yeah.
So,
somebody bought one for $1,000, and now
Can you hit the
for $5.
drop down? There's like a little hit the little that thing.
Very minor dent in the top. How it came when I bought it. Okay.
So
Because
at any rate,
go back to the ones that were like 2,000. There has to be something special. Coach just said they were graded. I want to see if do they like show that in the
they do in the
the
listing
pricing?
sometimes, right? But they don't show it in like the post sale listing.
PSA 9. Okay.
Okay, so the ones that are selling for like super prices are okay. So it's not that crazy then.
Well, they
Well,
don't always have that. What I'm saying is,
it's
like they don't always have like.
Well, the ones that are like significantly higher are graded, so those are different. Like that's
I'll
definitely
bet you there's
different.
some in there that were graded that were significantly lower.
And,
It's
hey,
all over the
thanks,
place.
Coach, for the tip on that. Good call.
But beyond that,
I'm just saying it
I was
explains
looking
more
more
than just. The cards don't just swing $1,800 in between.
No, they
sales.
do.
That's
They
just-
are. That's what I'm saying. It's the ones that aren't
They're
even
not.
graded that are. Yes, they are.
Some
No,
of
they're not.
these,
They're swinging a couple $100,
outside
not
of those,
1,800.
well, even outside of that though, Matt, with this near mint hollow right here, we're seeing for 1,850, right?
100, and then the last one that sold was 900.
Yeah. So I mean, that is almost $1,000 swing off of non-graded, or at least not being advertised as graded. And if you're not advertising it as a graded card here, then you're losing out on a huge premium that you've already paid for investing into a PSA grading. So it would be dumb for them not to do it. So
my point, like we're kind of getting off on a rabbit hole here. Like go look at the box prices. The box prices are swinging wildly. Right? They started like the week at 300. And then they tank, and then they're back up, and it's like, geez, Louise, that's too long of a timeline. I'm talking about just like within the last week.
Well, this is all I got.
No. Look at like the view more data, and you'll see like even the box prices are swinging. No, look at the view more data on the right, latest sales. On the right, there you go. And scrolling through the actual sales, and you'll see like 235, 241, 278. Go back a little bit before that, earlier on in the week, they're 300, and it's like, good golly, like you'd have to load a bunch more sales. But this is what I'm saying is that the prices are just
this is just from
and it's not even just 299, 300. And that's just
2
days ago, right? So it's like it's nutty what's happening in the market. Like I'm watching the prices, I like to track them, and normally you don't see this kind of variation. And I tried to look, I even dug in. So for those of you that are curious, I couldn't find any. That was down at 270 something earlier in the week. It's just things are just like vastly fluctuating. I guess we'll get into what I hate as well, because I think you'll find it
$28. Isn't this a great deal, Bob?
No, it's not a great deal, because look at that. This is supposed to be but you can't see that they listed it on. Oh yeah, you can right there, unopened. Box only. How is the box only unopened?
No lid, no accessories, no packs, some scratches and creased inserts. The fuck out of here.
I mean, Lorcana boxes, you can get the packs out without opening the box, technically. Maybe they did that.
They're selling the box, not the packs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They pulled the packs out and they're just selling the box.
Right, but they're selling the box. It's unopened.
It is unopened. If they slid the packs out, it's technically unopened.
This is no. You can't slide the packs out of this. This is the trove. You can't slide packs out of these. So they open the outer casing, and so I wrote to them, because can you scroll down? Like we can look. I'd like you to show the listing, or at least because they're doing this now, right? The first view you see, they're like, oh, no booster packs, no booster packs, just the box, right? And they're doing this. If we could switch to the boxes now too, the actual booster boxes. And you look, oh, they don't have any right here. That's a shame. Well, you can find some for sure. Maybe not right now. Oh, there we
loose
go. Yeah. Unopened 24 packs loose pack bundle from starter decks. Get the fuck out of here.
just a bunch of
I'm sorry,
yeah.
but this is bullshit. And so I wrote to the TCG player saying, hey, look, when people are getting 24 packs unopened from a booster box, they're expecting that the booster box is unopened or the trove is unopened, right? But they're listing them under unopened. And I got some loosey-goosey bullshit that sellers are allowed to get creative so long as they clearly list in the listing what's going on with their listing. And I'm like, but it's in a category that's supposed to be unopened. And the entity, the thing that's the item that's supposed to be unopened is the booster box itself. Not the effing packs inside of it, but the booster box, because there carries a premium to a sealed booster box. There's a premium to a sealed case. Right? And they're putting them under unopened. And I think
if we're going to start seeing that for booster cases too, where they've taken all the boxes out of it, all of the sealed Lorcana boxes, and it's just the big brown cardboard box. And they
But it's just something to watch out for. Be very careful when you're looking on TCG Player now, because they're allowing people to do things that might be a gotcha.
Oh, like this. This is fucking open.
How is that an unopened case?
And it says for over $1,000. Like, this isn't just like a bullshit old man yelling at clouds. This is a legitimate gripe. I'll give you that, Bob. Like,
what do I normally yell at clouds?
Like, why would you? The premium is that this is a sealed case of product. It's not anymore. Now,
and the bigger problem with the first chapter is the weighed packs and the no tape on some of the boxes. It's just it adds to confusion and problems in the collector market when you allow this on top of what Ravensburger got away with not sealing the boxes in the first place. So
okay.
Yeah, just be careful. That's my message. About looking on TCG Player, that they're allowing people to list things under categories that feel very misleading to me. Right? It doesn't feel like it's in the and it's not just Lorcana, by the way. They're doing it in other trading card games as well. I was poking around at different boxes. I don't recall exactly off the top of my head, but I was like, this is just hot garbage.
Well, at this point, I assume that One Piece is probably getting into that territory, and Star Wars Unlimited, if people are able to get their sticky little fingers in those now $200 boxes, it would not be surprising to me whatsoever.
Well, and it's just, like I said, just be careful. This is not specific to Ravensburger. This is not specific to Magic the Gathering. This is a TCG Player thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, just keep
that's your call, man.
Create their own category for open boxes, but they didn't seem like they wanted to do that.
No, they said they're working on it. They're trying to expand their minds and take acid or whatever. But I'd say they're already dropping enough to, allow that kind of shenanigans and fire back on my response that, oh, this is okay. We know about it. It's fine. There's nothing to see here. Move along. I'm like,
what they're saying is they're not going against policy, so they're not going to do anything about it. That's what their answer means. Their answer is just political.
I'm aware.
Technically, they're doing nothing shady. Well, they're doing nothing against the terms of service. Whether it's shady or not is, I guess, up to interpretation.
Okay.
I don't give a much about it.
I don't give a shit about terms of service. I don't give a shit about anything else. Everybody with any shred of common sense would know that's some shady ass shit.
Yeah, and they just want to make their 13%. That's all that is they're not worried about buyer protections or anything of that nature, because until there's enough ill will or class action, I don't think they're going to change that. And it's definitely going to be, like you said, haunting the very bottommost rung, which is how everybody sorts when they're buying these products. I don't really care who they're coming from, as long as it's a sealed box of Ikoria. That's what I want to buy. And if it's no longer that item, it's definitely wrong to put that in the same category as a true sealed box. And you're definitely going to get way too many eyes on it. And we're going to see more and more stores doing that. Not even stores, but like sellers. some being stores, but that's going to ruin their actual reputation, which is going to push them further down the list, getting less sales. So it's just, yeah, it's detrimental to the actual sellers
market.
and to the
It's actually
consumer.
detrimental to the market overall. I think it,
Mm.
to me, it rubs me wrong as a TCG buyer. I don't sell anything on TCG Player, but as a TCG buyer, TCG Player buyer, it is something that adds to my customer dissatisfaction. And at some point that comes back to bite you as an entity when you have a bunch of pissed off customers.
I'm with
But-
Matt on this, though, with another category for opened boxes where it's just the shell. For collectors' purposes, I know a lot of people that are into that kind of gig. Keeping empties on the shelf is something I did for a while. It's nice eye candy to walk by and see, oh, hey, Kaladesh.
Well, some of them, they're not even selling the boxes. It's just 24 loose packs.
Yeah, that's
they're selling it as an unopened box. I'm like, there's a place already to list your packs.
Well, that's also going to be like a shipping nightmare. 24 loose packs. What are you going to do? Just stick in a big manila envelope so everything's all slopping around in there?
Tape them together.
yeah, right. Tape them together.
Look, I'm fine. I'm fine if they don't advertise it as an unopened box and they ship it in a box that's already been opened. And when I bought 24 loose packs, cool, bonus. But trying to advertise as an unopened box, that's just some shenanigans that they're trying to capture some of the market when they've already searched through it, weighed the packs, gotten the enchanted foils, and then trying to sell the rest.
Totally.
So that's a bunch of garbage.
Oh,
Mr. Prime.
Yeah,
very glad to see you back.
Items, I, for one, definitely did not put together that it's pre-release weekend for the Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
OTJ, dude, let's go. You know what's funny, coaches? I'm actually in the same boot with or same position, I guess is a better way to phrase that, with the Fallout Collector's box. I picked them up for like $360 shipped, and now they're like $420, $440, and I'm just like, I kind of want to open one, but then at the same time, I don't think it'll be a feels bad because the cards are very valuable. So like maybe it's still okay. And if you get a serialized card, you're like, you're doing just dandy.
Right.
So I mean,
still might be a feels bad.
What did you buy? What did you buy the trove for? Did you buy it to open it? Because I bought the Phyrexia complete bundles at like $60 something a piece, $64 a piece or whatever. Maybe it was $60 a piece. I bought a case of them, and I opened 5 of them because that's what I bought them to open them specifically. Do I regret it now? No. Even though they're like $180 a piece now, somewhere around there. And I don't regret it because I specifically bought them to open them. I wouldn't open the Trove if I was you because, as I've said from the beginning, the Trove is the entity that is going to be the most collectible piece of this. I said it before things were released. I'm still saying it now. I'm saying they're not going to get reprinted. So it eventually is going to be the best eye candy for a shelf. It'll be the most desired piece to just toss up on a shelf to represent the first chapter for Lorcana.
What's funny is that I really like that Disney 100 thing they did with the alternative art ones. And
those aren't worth shit.
Well, that's the thing, is they're not worth shit, but I like the way it looks. Like how it's presented is similar to a lot of Pokemon products. How they have like the vacuum molded plastic or whatever, so it has the little spots, and it's a good display piece in my opinion. And I think that that's one of the things that Magic the Gathering has kind of been lacking in, the outside appearance of some of their products. I think they turned it a little bit up with the bundles and stuff from Outlaws at Thunder Junction here. There's some pretty good looking products from the outside in.
I should have 2 boxes, 2 play boxes, 2 collector's boxes, and 2 commander decks coming soon.
Oh yeah, right.
I have a buddy that I ordered from, and so far the prices have all been cheaper than what I could get it for anywhere else. Like even Rudy was selling the collector boxes for $209, and I'm like, that's not worth it. I was able to get them for $180. Like I don't understand. That's shipped. No taxes, no shipping. So 209 is kind of a slap in the face, to be honest. But
all right, so I want to share something with y'all that I found out there. I got a little thing in my email, and I found the Ursula's PVE Illuminator's Quest Deep Trouble. Because what I think this reveals, if a store is willing to sell them at this price, they probably, I mean, they don't sell them at the same price they get them. That would be dumb.
Telling me a store wants to make money?
We know that they're, what's that?
You're telling me a store wants to make money?
So at $48, right? That's what should reasonably be obtainable out there. Now, I have a feeling this will fall in line with the treasure troves, the Lorcana treasure the troves.
I don't. No way. These will get reprinted to oblivion. These are like starter decks.
I don't think these will get reprinted to oblivion because it has too many pieces that they have to reprint all over the place. Like they have to reprint the special packing for the treasure pack and for the Ursula's deck. That's all special printing that they don't normally have set up. The extra cards with the oversized cards, all that, if they go to reprint, all that stuff has to be reprinted special, including the box. It's easier to reprint a set because they've already got it. It's very standard. You don't have to set up all kinds of special printing and special production, like all those tokens. It's just so much of a pain in the ass on a specialty product. If it's flying off the
shelves and they're making money, they'll do it. I don't understand.
No, they won't.
What do you mean?
Oh,
you're telling me if a company can guarantee they make money, they're not going to do it.
They reprinted the first chapter draft boxes, but did not reprint the troves, and those things have taken off like a rocket.
But the troves are designed to be collectors. They're not designed to be a entry level, get into the game, brand new way to play. Like I don't know. I look at these as starter decks. I feel like these are going to be reprinted to oblivion.
I do not.
I got to say, I'm with Matt on this one. I think this is going to be a particularly available product, and I would expect.
I hope I'm wrong.
It's the best way to get. It's the best way to get into Lorcana, like PVE. Exactly. Like we've. That's the reason why we made our format for Commander Raids.
Hold on,
like, it just makes sense.
So that's not even the point of what I was. That's not even the point I was trying to make. So just clearly, but I have been watching these, and Pat and I looked at this, a few weeks ago, right? So this is what TCG Player has these listed for. So, if y'all are interested in this, and I've been hyping it and pushing it, don't pay $149 for the damn thing. Especially when the store is showing them, even though they've been sold out at $48. I think it should be at that price. What's that?
How many people are buying them?
Yeah, right. How many suckers?
Scroll down to the.
Well, I mean, they're not even out yet.
So. That's sad. Oh, this is
a decent bit of number of people.
Oh yeah, and it goes on.
Wow,
a lot of people got sucked in at this price, but I think that, this goes into the whole FOMO mentality that we've sort of created out there. So the point with all that was, before we went down the rabbit hole, whether they're going to reprint, not reprint, be readily available or not be readily available, the price that the stores are willing to part with them, that means they're getting them cheaper, are way below, triple below what you're looking at on, more than that, almost 4 times lower than what you're paying on TCG Player. So don't FOMO into that. I would be patient for it. Maybe they don't reprint it. Who knows? But I think it's a bad buy at $150.
Agreed.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I want to play it, but it was the same thing. You guys kept chastising me that I wasn't buying $400 boxes of the first chapter, even though I really wanted it. And I'm like, no. You guys kept saying, well, you can afford it. So what? I don't want it at $400.
No. You're kind of twisting our words.
Spending, like, the reality.
You wanted it. Sometimes the experience is worth the premium price. And at that time, you really wanted it. So I did,
and I drove all over Ohio. I probably put 400 miles on my car to get it at retail prices. But I told you guys, I'm not buying it unless it's close to retail. And I waited until it was close to retail, and then I pulled the trigger. Every box I got was really close to retail. I think 150 was the top that I paid on a box.
And it's never that we said you should buy it. It's that has always been an option at those price points. That if you wanted it, you could have got it.
It was readily available.
There's a
You just
lot
had
of
to pay
things
a
I could
premium.
get and run myself out of money and be broke as most of the rest of the people out there if I gave in to desires, right? And I just don't. You got to have discipline, right?
Just
if you want
remember,
a
a
thing, you
paycheck's
got to
only
have
2 weeks
discipline.
away.
Well, that's one of the funny things is now with the MTG and TCG markets at large is seems you can just wait a month and that shit's gonna go up and down like a dying
It's definitely in a weird spot right now. I
rat
was watching.
sack.
Did you guys catch Jake's review of what he bought in July of 2023?
I have
You
not,
guys
but I
know
meant to.
I don't think I have.
Oh God, every single thing was a. There was like a couple of cards that were up by $1 or $2. Everything else was like just train wreck kind of losses, and that's unfortunately everything that I've been railing about here is to try to prevent that kind of stuff. And he was trying to say that they keep telling you only buy the cards when you need them. And I agree with that. If you're going to buy real cards, only buy what you need when you need it at this point, because it's likely to get a freaking reprint. And you're going to feel bad unless you can just go, well, I needed it at the time. Hey, what's up, Dual Brain?
What
But the same thing can be said about anything you buy. The majority of things that you buy, especially if you use it, it goes down in value immediately. Like buying a car, you lose like 20% of the value immediately. The moment you drive it off the lot, you've already lost money. But that doesn't stop people from buying cars. So
okay, but hold on. Your house. Well, first off, trying to equate buying magic cards to buying a car is an insane thing. Secondly, there are things that do go up, and they're the things that most people can't obtain, right? Especially like when you're buying gold, when you're buying stocks, when you're buying homes. These are the things that go up.
I can tell you, I know some people that bought a house and their value is not up, even though the housing market is the way it is.
And those are the same Timmies that buy magic cards.
Well, they bought at the wrong time is the problem.
Sure. There's always a bad time to buy.
Hey, what up, Twiddler? Hello, back
from Hawaii. We got people just dropping in from everywhere, from pre-release Hawaii. Where's everybody at today? Are they at any place
like
special
or something? What are you doing in Hawaii?
Wow. Jeez Louise, big ups, my man.
Yeah,
what are you, did you go all the way out there for a pre-release event? What's this about?
Can you imagine?
Living his best life. Well, I had mentioned that we go to something. What was it that I was talking about with somebody that we go overseas to some sort of con? Where was that? Like in Thailand or some shit?
Hey, what up, Mrs. Hillbilly?
Or New Zealand, maybe.
Hey, me too, Ed.
I would go to New Zealand for sure, but it's like a fucking 27-hour flight or something.
Oh God, that is brutal. I don't think it's that long, but it's probably like 18, 19 hours. But I've taken that flight 4 times, and you've taken that. You had to have, Pat, to get over to Vietnam.
Yeah,
that's a brutal flight across the Pacific.
Yeah, going over was a little bit easier than coming back, just because of the way the winds were going. But yeah, it was, I think, 16 hours there, 18 hours back, and that was just flight time.
Well, the bigger thing that makes it easier going over rather than coming back is you're always excited for, you're at the beginning part of your trip, and it's the exciting part, and you're going to go there and rah. And then when you come back, you're like, oh, F, I got to take this flight back. That is just,
I don't know. Sometimes I'm excited to be home.
Well, it was a little bit of both. But honestly, weather-wise, that was a huge thing because it was upper 90s, almost 100 when I was leaving Nam. And when I got back to Vermont, it was snowing and it was like 2. So not at night outside. It was like 2.
Which way did you fly?
What's that?
Which way did you fly, east or west?
I think we went west.
Did you go over Europe or did you go over the Pacific?
We went over the Pacific.
Okay, that's a lot of water. I'll tell you what.
I don't like water, man. I don't
oh my God, it's so much water. Like that was the thing that struck me. I've flown over oceans before, but good God, you're like, okay, the first 3 hours, look at all that water. The next 3 hours, it's still water. The next 14 hours, still water. And it's just like, good God. Oh, you're on a cruise. That's a better way to go,
dude.
Cruise,
unless there's bad weather. But yeah, that's a brutal flight, man. I don't ever want to do that shit again.
that was one of the things I was talking about is like travel plans, and if you want to go internationally places nowadays, it's getting more and more difficult because the airlines are getting screwed up worse and worse day by day, it seems. I mean, when I came back from seeing you guys, I ended up taking a 13-hour train ride because it was faster than freaking American Airlines. Like,
but I'll tell you what, that
was pretty flawless for the most part,
except for like the seats that are this wide.
I mean, that's not the. I mean, the pilot and the actual like organization that handled the the flights were fine.
Oh really? Really? You don't remember running? You don't remember running through the Las Vegas airport because we got there 2 hours prior to our flight? We're standing in line to check in our luggage, and then they shut down the outdoor luggage check-in. Then we have to go in and get to the back of the line to get our luggage.
But
that
again,
was a cluster app.
They also stepped up and they like pushed us through, and they did what they needed to do to get
people were
there.
complaining like crazy.
I mean, they were on top of it. I felt like they did.
No,
it was definitely a clusterfuck, but it was definitely
running through the damn airport. That's always fun with no shoes on.
The Arizona Memorial. What is that? Like a destroyer or something?
No, that's a battleship from Pearl Harbor that has been leaking oil since 1942, 1941. December 7th, 1941. They have like a memorial that sits over top of where the sunken hull is.
Huh. Oh, dang.
So that's it down there. And you can see the boat underneath it there. The ship, I should say, not boat.
Oh shit. That's wild.
Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty dope. Crazy times indeed.
Yeah, stuff's gonna just like keep getting nuttier. That's one of the things I talk about with my father all the time, is how his father had the same worries that he had, and how I'm now expressing some of the same worries that they both shared. It was like everybody seems to think like, oh man, the times, they're changing so fast, the world, it's in a crazy place. But I honestly think we have the most credence for that now than ever. Like, shit's pretty wild nowadays. I mean, I use AI all the time, and it's just so assistive and powerful that I think that a lot of people that are engaging with like more computer systems are getting more and more stuff done, that productivity is better than ever. And I think it's going to just go in a parabolic arc here, and we're going to see a huge shift in how people work. I mean, Amazon.
Well, honestly, I think people have been saying that, like you said, since the beginning of time, since the cavemen were like, oh shit, we could use flint instead of sharp sticks. That's going to change mankind. Wait, we have fire? Hell, that's going to change mankind. And that truly did. Wait, we have we have iron, we got, we have copper, we got iron, like there are many, many generations where we take these leaps forward, right? And I think that you're correct. The AI is going to change things, but kind of the same way that computers did, the internet did, that electricity did, that the steam engine did, and all these other things that have come along throughout human history. And it's up to us to adapt to those kind of things. I mean, unless AI becomes Skynet, but I
think we're still a ways away from that.
It could be a thing. You never know, but so could that's just as likely as an astronaut. Who was it that said that they were not as afraid of, it was Stephen Hawking that said he wasn't as afraid of AI killing mankind as mankind's stupidity killing mankind. So that's always a thing. And nukes have been around for a long time.
Circling back to Fallout, yeah.
Quite honestly, if AI kills us, we probably deserve it.
Or you could go on the.
I'll be honest with you, it would come probably so quickly. Just like if an alien species ever, like, I'm sorry for those of you that believe in UFOs out there. Why would they enter the atmosphere if they're that advanced? I mean, we would be scoping out planets from like light years away, and sending probes, not flying through their air. That's just a dumb idea.
Well,
especially if you could get. What?
I mean, to say UFOs aren't real is a bit just disingenuous. To say that UFOs have touched Earth's atmosphere, okay, sure. There's definitely UFOs.
But
I guess the definition of UFO isn't really kind of what I'm saying. I'm saying
right,
there are other.
that's what I'm
There are
laughing about.
certainly
It's like
other
100% they're UFOs.
humanoid
There's a bunch of shit up
alien.
there.
Their aliens exist, is what I'm trying to say for sure. Whether they've visited Earth, I highly doubt it.
We can't say that it's for sure, but it is highly probable that intelligent alien life either has existed or will exist other than human beings.
Yeah,
but
what
when
are
you
the
look
odds
at
that
the
we're
time,
the only one? It's just
Yeah,
not.
they're the only ones right now. It's very possible.
In the entire
Like,
universe, it's extremely
it's
unlikely.
very possible, but unlikely. It is a definite probability, but it doesn't even matter whether so it's like aliens or ghosts. If you can't prove that they have any meaningful interaction with human beings, then they might as well not exist at all. So there's nothing that we can do with it. There's nothing.
Exist. One of my favorite things.
Okay. Like if you really want to get into that, there's two things that you really need to research first. Number one is called the Fermi paradox, and number two is called the rare earth hypothesis. Then we can have a discussion, and then you also need to probably remember the Drake equation. What's that?
Let's talk about the Hollow Earth theory.
Isn't that where King Kong's actually from? Is like inside of the Earth. There's like another.
There's like a portal that leads inside the Earth, and there's like there's like an Earth inside of Earth or some shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure if it's like another dimension or if it's like
actually
Earth inside of Earth. So it's unclear.
Oh,
it's unclear to me because there was a sun inside of Earth, so I don't know how that works, unless that's the core.
Well, no, I saw the movie The Core. You can just go right through it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Or like in the moon, it's actually just a supermassive. It's actually not even supermassive. It's just a reasonably sized black hole, and they put like a big shell around it.
It did, Richie. It really did.
Well, it's like those ice cream things where like they get hard.
And I was saying that AI is really not as frightening to me any more so than aliens or a cosmic event that they're beyond our control. Why worry about it? Because if aliens were truly to come here, usually it's very bad for the alpha species anywhere when a new dominant thing moves into their environment, whether it's bacteria or wolves or anything else. So it'd probably be a very bad day for human beings if, for whatever reason, aliens were to decide to come to this planet. It would be, unfair. And it would
probably get Will Smith and whoever the other guy was that took down in Independence Day. Get little fighter jets, and surely we can take them out.
Jeff Goldblum.
That's the one.
Goldberg or and just to be safe, you get a somehow digitally de-aged Bruce Willis in a robot body, and we send his ass up there too. And he's going all Die Hard in the ship with alien blasters. Dude, Harry Connick Jr. for some reason is there as well.
I don't even know who that is, but I've probably seen the actor in a movie. I don't know actors very well.
He's the guy who says "I'm back" as he flies his plane right up the alien butthole in Independence Day.
Oh, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
No, the buddy, the pilot guy. Either way,
what did they say? Schwarzenegger? I think it was Schwarzenegger. There was this video that I was watching where the guy didn't know he didn't know who Arnold Schwarzenegger was, but he was saying he did. He was like, I know him. He was like, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you know the guy, you'd know his name. Anyways,
it's not Dennis Quaid. That's Randy Quaid you're thinking of.
Oh,
Dennis
Randy
Quaid was not in.
It's like the Hemsworths. I
think it's time for me to just go watch Dual Brain Show.
Speaking of watching the show, hey, we've got a decent amount of our subscribers and channel members here. I just wanted to go ahead and make another announcement in case you guys haven't seen our community post. I'm actually offering up part of a Fallout Collector booster box to channel members. I want to, give a little thank you to everybody that's helped support us and help build up the community that we have here. So I'm offering $30 shipped per pack, 3-pack maximum. So if anybody wants to get in on that, I've put some of the details to hit me up down on our community post. So just head over to our channel there. If you're a member, you can get in on that.
And if that goes well,
you're going to be opening them on stream and then shipping them, or are you just sending them?
Yes. No, they'll be all opened up. Once we have 12 packs sold, I'll make one video and kind of do it with a little name tag thing, shuffle everything up a little bit, and then do a box breaks for you.
box break.
Yeah, it is a good deal.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the point. You know, we're trying to do something nice for the for the subs. And actually, Dual Brain, you're what was that you were just opening? Mercadian Masks, the starter decks. That's when I messaged Pat and I said, you know, I think Pat even popped in on that show. Oh boy, look at that! I killed my setup. Just got a bent herwanger there. But it you know, I may even consider if that goes well with Pat and this would be channel member only stuff, not trying to twist people's arms. But I don't want to get into, you know, making this a thing. It's meant more for channel member appreciation kind of thing. And if it goes well, maybe I'll even do something like with Lorcana. So yeah, you can catch Bob opening stuff up for other people, but it would be very limited type of engagement. Something we'll see how this goes. This is our tiptoeing into that venture with Pat.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Twiddler. If you want, you can buy some packs for me and I'll open it up in a video for you.
Not really our bread and butter for this kind of community, but it's something that we'll consider.
You know,
there was a thing that I was thinking about doing. I'm gonna actually have to put some thought into. I think I want to do it. So this is a little inside of like what I was thinking. So a lot of the things that I do and the things that I enjoy most are doing deck techs. I think I'm good at it. I'm good at building decks, and I enjoy doing it. And one of the things I think I would like to do is do a deck tech, play the deck a bunch, make sure that it's in a really, really good position. And then I think I want to make a deck on NPC and then not auction off, but like do a giveaway on each deck tech that I do. Have a deck that like maybe one of the channel members, or I don't know if I'll open it up to anybody, but some amount of people could win the actual deck itself, which would be
in essence, folks. We're trying to give you guys more value than just listening to us sit up here as three talking heads for all that you guys do for us.
And there'd be no price.
Definitely appreciate you guys
just being a channel member. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
So, at any rate, so it appears that there's a bunch of people that are not out at I mean, we have Prime, but looks like a lot of people are not out at the pre-release tonight, huh?
I didn't even know it was today.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm excited for the set though. The set's pretty damn good.
Yeah, you know, got to keep that forward momentum. You know, unlike the Super Mutants, we're hopefully evolving into something better here on the channel.
Like the Wonder Twins, but with 3 people.
The Wonder Trends.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh wow! Why do we always devolve so quickly on an idea? Do either of you let's evolve back to something good? I didn't bring it. Matt, do you have another sleeve cell shred, or could you put one together here rapidly?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got one.
I'm not sure which one that is, folks. But for those of you that aren't familiar with sleeve cell shred, it was an idea that popped that we evolved some time ago. Where it's like, you know, fuck, marry, kill, where you pick one that you're going to keep, you're going to pick one that you're just going to interact with in a short-term relationship, meaning cell, and then the kill, you're going to shred that joker. So there'll be 3 cards that we're going to put on the screen for all of you out there to vote on. What would you do with the card? Would you sleeve it? Would you sell it? Would you shred it? So
one of the biggest problems that I have to I guess we'll I don't know, we'll do it on the fly. I have 3 cards in mind that I mean, I'm not sharing my OBS. I'm only sharing my normal camera, so I can't like switch over to a scene is what I'm trying to say. But I have 3 cards.
You're just on with your camera.
Yeah, it's just with the camera. I didn't.
You can share it. Like you can share things.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I'll put it on my screen. I guess maybe even through OBS, and then I'll just share that. No,
window. I mean you could share it just like on the present. If you open up like a PowerPoint or something, you can do like present and then select PowerPoint or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would just be using OBS for that.
Okay.
So yeah, give me a couple minutes. We can carry on.
All right, we'll get to that in just a minute. What else do you guys have from the gaming world this week? Like I said, you know, I was just doing StarCraft, watched the Fallout, and I'm kind of lukewarm on it.
So
what else have you got new for the folks?
Honestly, had a really big this past week was huge for them. As far as evolution of the game and how they're handling live service continues to be really just forward pushing. They've currently got two different enemy factions, both the Terminid and the automatons. Now, one of the large major orders that was given out recently was to exterminate the entirety of the automatons, to go and kill out every single toaster there was in the whole galaxy. And the players actually did. So for about 24 hours, there were no robots that were an enemy type. And then Game Master Joel, the sick man he is, reintroduced them as a like surprise attack from a different sector. So back on, we've got two sides going against us in the war to spread managed democracy again. And 2 days ago, on the 11th, there was a new stratagems and weapons released. So it's just getting crazier and crazier out there for Helldivers. They've got nukes that you can call in now, more explosive weapons, and more armor penetrating rifles to go out and interact with. So it's definitely continuing to be a fun push. So hopefully I'll get to see Richie tomorrow morning as we go and clear some of them holes.
I was wondering what the hell you were talking about, and until like 6 minutes in, I didn't hear the game you were even talking about. Helldivers, got it.
Sorry, I tried to reiterate it, but he was talking, and I didn't want to talk over him.
So they're doing something with Helldivers?
Yeah,
things and stuff, making it. It's kind of like PoE. They're doing stuff with PoE.
Yeah, Path of Exile is popping up. I can't stop playing it. Like it's just too good.
Yeah, and I know Richie's been grinding hard on D2R. I've been talking to him in the background about just some parts and pieces about moving forward there with like hunting the Ubers, and I don't think we've really gotten into Declone yet, but kind of walking him through some of that stuff.
Yeah, there was Project Diablo 2 was coming out as well, and then also Diablo 4. I keep hearing and I keep seeing articles about. Apparently, Season 4 is going to be like basically a new game. They're like it's basically Diablo 5. We're redoing everything. All the items are all changing. It's crazy.
They've been talking about what they're going to do. It's just like the whatever, and people have played the freaking the test realm. There's been a lot of people like like Mr. Llama's played it, and so the guy you don't like, Darth Micro, he played it, and from what I've seen from all of them, it's just pretty much just like meh.
It's not that I don't like him. It's just that I just don't enjoy watching his content.
Hey,
I think he's very good.
I'm sure he's a fine dude. Like I don't have anything wrong with him himself.
I like his take. I like what he's saying. Like
he's a noob, and I watch content creators to gain value from, and I can't gain any value from
content creators because they're entertaining. So he's entertaining. I'll tell you what, because like you got Saffron Olive, who's like not a noob, but oh my god, that voice just will make me want to run away and set myself on fire. I love him. I mean, Saffron, if you want to be on the show, come on one of the nights that I'm not here. You can talk to these two guys. No offense, you're a wonderfully intelligent and well-spoken dude, but god damn that voice, I just can't deal.
Take back the well-spoken part then.
No, he's well-spoken, meaning he says good words in a good order, that words that actually exist. But his voice just I can't do it. But I would have Darth Microtransactions. Is that what his name is?
Yep.
I'd have him on here in a heartbeat. I think he's K Torque. Wow, there's one I haven't seen in a bit.
Classic.
Mr. K Torque. Oh, there we go. Wow,
these
you couldn't put the other blue one?
These are all spree cards, and these are all cards that I think are quite playable in just about any deck in the colors that they're in. So these are my 3 potential choices of. So basically, yeah, like Bob mentioned, the game here is one of these cards is going to be shredded forever, and it'll never exist, and you can never play it again. One of them is the card that you want to play with the most, and the card that you would sleeve and actually play with, and then the last one is just for the value, for the dollary dues, selling it and gaining value.
And
I actually don't know the value of any of these cards. They're not even close. But
It's unfortunate. Well, I mean, because you have a mythic versus 2 rares.
Perfect. So we've got a poll live right now. Which one gets a sleeve out of these 3? Which one are you saving?
I mean, that's a pretty easy one. No offense.
I don't
That
know.
one's an easy one tonight.
Let's see. Final Showdown. Okay, I've seen this one.
I mean, all 3 of them are very strong.
Counter target.
There is, in my opinion, there's not one that outweighs the other tremendously. They all have their values.
Clone. That's draw 2 cards and discard card. That's actually it's okay. 3 steps ahead is solid too. Search your library for a card, then shuffle it, put it on top. Okay, 2 and a black for a tutor, or 3 black. Target player draws 3 cards, loses 3 life. Oh, that's a pretty solid rate. Okay, these are all very good. I see why this is difficult for our audience out there.
The Insatiable Avarice is one card that I initially thought was pretty bad. I'm like, 3 mana to search your library for a card and put it on top is actually horrible.
Yeah, that's not
so
great.
Let's just be clear. What Matt was explaining with the rules is you can't just like sell it and then go buy it later down the road. So like if you're shredding it, it's gone out of the Magic library for you. If you sell it, you're going to sell it just for the money right now, and you can never buy it again. And you're only ever going to be able to play with one of these cards. Just making that clear.
Oh, keep at it, Twiddler. You know, every show you're doing something a little bit different, and you can always start up another series as well. Instead of just doing the live stuff, you can definitely do, separate type of work. I know you're creative.
My ADD brain could not just do one thing all the time. I really enjoy opening packs of cards, and especially if like especially if I have no risk involved. If I'm just opening other people's packs of cards, like that would be fantastically fun for a while. But I actually do think that I would be bored of it. Maybe the excitement of opening a new pack would be fun. I don't know. I might grow numb to it, so who knows?
That's not the reason I don't want to do it, but I don't want to get into that here. But I mean, it's not the flavor of our channel for sure.
So 3 mana to go cut a card and put it on top is really, really bad. But when you add the extra 2 mana onto it, it makes it better, especially when there are cards that are like well, I guess it depends. It's a sorcery. I was gonna say cards that have miracle. You could specifically make sure to put the miracle on top and draw it, but you'd have to be able to play a sorcery as an instant. Yeah, that really needs to be an instant. I should have picked the black. Is there a black spree instant? It's okay. It's too late.
Well, so what's interesting to me about that is I think you resolve those in order. So with Insatiable Avarice, you're searching for your library, you put it on top, then you draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
So
if it's still good, but it's 5 mana to. It's 5 mana to search, tutor, and draw 3.
I wonder if you could do it in a different order, right? I don't know that it necessarily has to go top to bottom order.
I don't either. That's one of the problems with introducing all these new mechanics. And as much as I love, modularity, this is definitely one of those things that's going to be tricky.
I'm fairly certain you resolve them top down, but I'll Google and I'll look on the rules. I also noticed something. Look at the top right of the mana value. There's a little plus sign here. You might not.
Yeah, that's how you know that it's a spree, because you can't.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day, and I'm like, oh, there's a little plus sign by the mana symbol. It's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
Because you have to choose at least one additional cost. You can't just put it for a white and it just like splat to go to nothing.
Hey, over here, fellas and fellettes.
Little plus symbol. That's how you know it's a spree
card. I control F for order.
And then Final Showdown. That is a tasty card. For a white and 1, all creatures lose all abilities until end of turn. Instant. That's tight. Choose a creature you control, indestructible until end of 1 for 1 additional generic. Or you throw on 3 and 2 more white, destroy all creatures.
Yeah, here it is. No matter what modes you choose, you must always follow the instructions in the order they are written. So yeah, it's top to the bottom.
Okay.
So you'd have to go get the card, put it on top, then draw. Which for 5 mana what you want? Is okay.
I think that's what you would want off of that one, but other circumstances,
like
maybe
you're
not.
tutoring and then drawing. Like,
yeah, you're getting the card you want into your hand. The problem that I have with it is that it's a sorcery. If it was an instant, it'd be like insanely strong. But because it's not an instant,
okay.
it's just okay.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a tutor. It's another black tutor for literally 3, with no
but
downside.
going to the top of your library is rough for 3 mana. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay,
why
and
it
then
had
for
to be
2 more
3.
mana plus 3 life, you get to draw that and 2 cards behind it. Not terrible.
Yeah.
It's
just
not
if I'm
great.
using my entire turn to go tutor a card and then draw 3 and lose 3 life.
All right. So what did the poll tell us? What are the people telling us about this?
So far, we've got 7 votes in with a pretty decent split here. Looks like Final Showdown is ahead, currently sitting at 43%. And then we've got a 2-way tie for second place with 3 steps ahead and Insatiable Avarice. So I'm thinking that the sleeve for this tonight is going to Final Showdown.
Yep.
And actually, funny enough, it's the only mythic between those 3 colors. There is no mythic black. No
I
mythic
think that's
blue.
because it's clearly
3
like
cards.
I think it's the best card out of the bunch. I think it's clearly the best card out of the bunch.
It is one of the only other instant board wipes in the game. There's only one other one. Do you guys know what the other one is?
No.
There's one other one where it's a sorcery, but you can pay extra mana to make it an instant.
Got nothing.
Route.
A route.
It's 5 mana, a sorcery. Just draw creatures that can't be regenerated, but you may cast Route as though it had flash if you pay 2 more to cast it. So it's 7 mana for an instant board wipe. This is 6 mana for an instant board wipe that also gives other abilities. It gives you the ability for 7 mana to save one of your creatures, make it indestructible, then destroy the rest. At instant speed, that's pretty good. Save your commander, kill everybody else.
And also like a one-time juicing of getting around people's indestructibility and all that BS.
Also, most notably, the order of that card matters as well, because all creatures lose all abilities till end of turn. Then a creature you control gains indestructible, then destroy everything. Like, that's actually a really good order. It's 8 mana, but it's instant, you know.
So it can literally strip off indestructible too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you give yourself indestructible back, which is great.
Love you too, Sherry Vegas. But can you select one of them multiple times?
No.
That would be too good.
You may not.
Well,
yeah, that would be too good. That would make Insatiable Avarice much better. Go tutor up a bunch of stuff.
So I think we're going to go ahead and call that poll. Looks like Final Showdown is the winner for tonight. Getting that sleeve.
All right, so what are we doing for
making money?
We only have to do one more poll for let's just do the shred. Let's do the hate. Which one are we shredding? Because the other one will obviously be sold. Now, the only reason that we, like people just might like money more than anything, and they would just sell the Final Showdown because it's a lot more expensive than the other two.
What do you guys think about the plot mechanic? Do you guys like it?
Not really.
I'm kind of for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, it's kind of like the same mechanics similar to what they had in Kaldheim, whatever the hell that was called.
Manifest or Foretell?
Foretell,
probably.
Yeah,
it's just better Foretell.
Yeah, it's definitely it. I personally feel as though it is also superior, specifically because you pay all of the cost up front, so it's free when you want to.
It's better suspend. It's better Foretell. It's the fact that you can just cast it whenever you want. It can't be interacted with.
You have to wait until you have all the mana, right?
Yeah, just like when you cast a spell, you have to wait until you have all the mana.
No, Foretell is when you discount it, right? You discount Foretell.
Well, you discount it, but then you pay it again. You have to pay the actual mana.
Okay, but you can still buy it cheaper overall.
I think that, like, if using cards with plot, when you would like to plot it for later, and then the fact that you can cast it whenever you want, it can't be stripped out of your hand. It can't be messed with. It's exiled. You can cast it whenever you want. It can still be countered, but like The fact that you're getting it out of your hand. Yeah, I just think it's cheaper.
I mean, overall cheaper, but like just staying on curve and in a standard environment, I think Fortel is better.
There's a Fortel that has like a stipulation that it's like 2 mana. It's a creature, flying creature that when it enters the battlefield, if you have 5 or more untapped lands, it gets 2+1/+1 counters and a lifelink counter. For only 2 mana for a 2/2, which becomes a 4/4 flying with lifelink. And then also it entering the battlefield at the right time. And then if you have counter things that matter, being able to like control when you do it is so important for me.
Yeah.
And yes, Fortel you can do the same thing, but having to tap out for mana to do that is just like, so if I play this 2-drop creature that I'm talking about, then the next turn I play like Doubling Season, and then I can play that immediately afterwards, paying no mana because it's already paid. It's like, I don't know, it just the no mana part is really strong.
If you don't have the mana, right, you can cast Fortel things cheaper.
Right, but it's all about doing a lot of things in one turn, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, and that's a very
any mana at all is the problem.
And that's a very Commander-esque kind of thing, like having.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
I said Fortel is better in standard in a sealed environment. I think Fortel is a better mechanic.
Maybe in standard, but I mean, I haven't even thought about playing standard outside of like
or sealed or
I thought about it a little bit. You know what's funny about this? This might have been a little bit more fair if this was the card that I picked for white instead. This card is like, as an uncommon, it's surprisingly strong. Just because of the versatility of it.
Yeah.
I would say that's more in line with the other 2 cards than Final Showdown is.
It sucks if
it's too late. We've already voted.
I'm just
saying.
So
what was the final tally? What's getting shredded and what's getting sold, Pat?
So we've got looks like 3-1 right now with Insatiable Avarice looking to get the axe.
That's what my initial thought was on this card was that I didn't like it very much. I'm growing a little bit more warmer to it, but like in the right decks, this card's strong. It's just there's a lot of card draw in black already, like, and it always costs life, and you know, like I just.
Actually, I think I would switch my vote. I can't do that though. So I had one of those votes for Insatiable Avarice, but I think I'd rather the blue one. Especially since you have to do them in order. Like, when are you ever going to do all like 3? Oh, I have to wait to do the draw stuff and create a token copy. Like, haha, I counter your thing and put out a token copy and draw 2 cards. It's like, it's what a weird, like, unfortunate series of events that would occur there for 3 steps ahead. It's just like, oof.
Hold on.
Sorry. It's a big change of pace, I guess. But
I have an example of why this card's very good. But my brain is failing me.
Of what, 3 steps?
No, there's blue cards that have multiple abilities.
You gotta pay 8 mana to get that draw 2.
It's a really popular card.
You can just not do the first 2.
Yeah, you don't have to. You can pick them out of order and just don't do them. You could always just do create a token and draw 2, discard 1. You
can
just counter a spell for 3, which isn't great, but the flexibility of the card is what makes it so strong.
Okay.
And it's, of course,
it's like Balaged Recovery and Balaged Sanctuary. I don't want a fucking forest that comes into play tapped, but if that tapped forest has return something from my graveyard to my hand that's overcosted, but it's the same card, like that's what I'm seeing here. But
you know what the nice thing is that they did define it, that the mana cost of these is actually 1. So yes, you could put any of these on an Isochron Scepter.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't that be fun to have a perpetual board wipe on an Isochron Scepter in a game? Wouldn't you just be everybody's friend at the table?
But I don't know if you can choose any of the modes. I think you would just cast nothing if it was an Isochron Scepter. But I'm
not sure how that works.
If you can Isochron Scepter these, that's bonkers. I have a feeling you can't, but I'd have to go look at the rules.
I mean, if you could, and you throw Final Showdown on that, and you constantly just take away all abilities, and oh yeah.
It's pretty strong. There's no way they allow that. There's got to be something that in the rules that
They
prevents
said
that
that the
happening.
CMC on these cards is indeed 1.
Yeah, I
Which is
understand that, but
contrary to everything I've ever heard about like optional costs.
I
But
think you know what?
okay.
I think spree is only from your hand. I think that's the stipulations. MTG spree. It's going to be in the spree.
MTG Spree sounds like a pretty decent Magic the Gathering channel on YouTube.
Or you may still have to pay the maybe it works, but maybe you still have to pay the extra costs.
You would definitely have
Yes,
to pay
you
the
do.
extra
Yes,
cost.
you have to pay the
Similar to
extra cost.
escalate, spells with
But
spree
to
have
have it on a
several
stick?
effects, each with additional costs. Where spree escalates is that the different effects have different costs in order to choose them, indicated by the blah blah blah. This means the same card can have very cheap, low effect.
You might just not be able to do the higher costed ones at that point, though, because if the CMC is higher than what 2, are you still able to do it? Like,
yes, the CMC is always considered 1 on these, and then you just have the additional costs.
Yeah, so you'd be able to Icecrown Scepter, but you still have to pay the extra cost. It's not as busted as I thought it would be. I mean, it's still good.
It's still
that's
pretty
about
busted.
as equally as busted as I thought it was.
No, I thought it was way more busted. There's no way they would do that. It's just not. I mean,
no, you can put it on Icecrown Scepter, but then you get to choose different modes. You talk about then I would say the blue one's better because it's wider.
I think the black
range
one's
of
better
shit
because
that
then
you
you're
can do.
paying. Well, I guess that's actually. Well, you're paying 4 instant speed to search your library, put on top. That's not great. 4 to draw 3 cards, though.
Well, isn't Icecrown Scepter, doesn't it have an activation cost?
That's what I'm saying. It's 2 colorless. But that's what I'm saying. It's 4 to go search, or it's 4 to because you don't have to pay the mana cost of the actual card itself, but you just have to pay the additional costs.
But to have a counter spell on a stick, to have a board wipe on a stick.
So
the blue one actually gets is the best because you have the draw 2, you have the counter, and you have the create a token. That's all very nice things to have at instant speed.
Our audience is currently split as well. It's 50-50 right down the middle. It seems as though they don't really care for either of them. They don't hate one more than the other.
I think they're just meh. They only like Final Showdown. All right. So, I mean, that's this week's Sleeve, Sell, and Shred. We're just going to split it. So we have the tying vote here, folks. What are we doing, Pat? What are you voting to shred?
For me personally, I would get rid of Insatiable Avarice. As Matt said, price point wise for the CMs, the mana value you're paying to get a card on top of your library in black, not worth it. You've got enough tutors already. Target player draws 3 cards, loses 3 life. It's just not really worth it in black either. Where at least in blue, it's doing enough of what blue does, and you just want more of it in those decks. So it's very
Insatiable Avarice. Combine it with Shieldred.
Yeah.
Right. It's when they draw a card, they lose 2 life. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, when an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life.
Right. So for 3 mana, you could, and you have Shieldred out there. Holy Lord. So they're going to draw 3 cards. They lose 6 life for that. And so that's 9 life for 3 mana they lose.
Yeah, in standard, that's half their life. So I can see that in being a standard, but in commander, I don't ever want to give my opponent 3 cards.
Excuse me.
Unless they're dying, I guess.
Right, under the rarest of circumstances.
I'm just saying, like, let's say you've already gotten their life down. Like, once Shieldred hits the board, they probably are already going to be a little bit lower, and then you hit them with that. That's pretty much a game ender, man.
The card that I was thinking of to compare 3 steps ahead with is Cryptic Command, but Cryptic Command's still kind of better.
Kind of better? It's definitely
yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of better.
Okay.
It doesn't have the same modes. It's not really a fair competition, to be honest. But
okay. Anyways, not a bad choice, and it's relevant for OTJ being out now. What is the next set that's coming out, folks?
Modern Horizons 3, June 14th, 2024.
You guys going to get any piece? Oh, you already said you had a piece of that, Pat.
I have a couple of things pre-ordered off of Amazon, but I don't want to actually buy them for that price. It's fucked.
That price, I think, is absolutely insane, dude.
Just for all clarity's sake, it's...
How about we share with the audience what we're talking about here? Why don't you go ahead and bring up some examples?
I'm gonna
So
try and
when
get to
when
that.
is that releasing? By the way,
That's June 14th.
that's Assassin's Creed's not next.
7. Assassin's
No,
Creed 7
Assassin's
5.
Creed is July.
It's a month after Modern Horizons.
Okay, so we got a little
I
bit
thought
of
it was
breathing room
Assassin's Creed
between
X
now and
as well.
I could have sworn that's what they said they were doing. But that's a long time between sets, really.
Yeah,
as
I
far
got
as
the thing pulled
watching
up.
concerned.
Yeah,
But for
it's 2
Modern
months, which is
Horizons,
weird.
I mean,
Dude,
for
get out of here.
$16 more, you can get the gift edition. Bob, it's that same bullshit as before, where for a very mildly higher price, you can get the gift edition. So
I think the gift
But I
edition is a
wouldn't buy
good
the
value.
base edition at that price.
Well, yeah, don't
no,
buy the
like I
base.
said,
Buy the
I don't
good one.
actually want to get any of
I
this
don't want
product.
either
This is
edition.
unacceptably expensive.
I want to see how much my buddy's whatchamacallit prices
Yeah,
are
me
from that one
too.
place. If his prices are good enough, I'll buy some. But other than that, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, I mean,
I also
Dude,
don't
get
even know
outta
what's
here.
in the set. So why would I pre-order anything if I don't even know what's in the set? If
What
it's
could they even put in the
insane,
set that would make you want to buy it?
if
At
I
that
could open
price?
it and not lose money, that would be great.
Okay, that's a stupid thing to say. So how about
I mean,
something a
that's
little
what
more
would-
intelligent?
You asked me? No. You can't say that. You asked me what would have to be in it for me to want to open it. Yeah, well, not
Just
losing money
monetary
would be
interaction,
number
that's
one on my list.
When's the last time you opened anything that by the time you sell, pay taxes, shipping, you didn't lose money?
It's been a while.
Coach, that's not even taking into account all of the secret layers they're going to continue to machine gun out at us. I mean,
I bought Secret Lair recently.
I was just
Fallout
going to
one.
say, speaking of Fallout, look at that. We're back to Magic the Gathering again because they
Dude,
did.
it got
I think what they're
sold
trying to do
out
is they're going
real
to try to push
fast.
Fallout. I think they're going to try to ride Fallout as far as they can. That it's been sort of their gem so far this year, but I don't think I think they're in trouble. So I did look up. It's April 24th that they're going to come out with their Q1 or supposed to come out with their Q1 financials. So I'll be taking a look at that. I'm very curious about it this time.
So for
I think it'd be very telling.
$110, I mean, 9 play boosters and a collector booster. What incredible value! If you can't hear the sarcasm, that's what that was.
You're not allowed to do that.
Go suck a crack pipe. I mean, this is just stupid.
$430 for a collector box. Get the
No,
fuck
dude. No, that's not dumb. Go back to
That's
the other
cheap.
page.
It used
Go
to be
back to the other
500.
page. Look at that. $600 for the commander decks.
But that's only $150 per deck, Bob.
That's an entire deck for $150. That's a steal
Okay.
Hold on.
for them.
I'm trying to do math here. $150 divided by 4. That's $37.50. It costs like $38 to get a deck proxied. So for me, I could literally, for the price of one of these decks, at not even including taxes and bullshit, shipped, I could get all 4 of them proxied for the price of one.
But there's so many cards you wouldn't even proxy in most decks.
Those aren't real cards.
Most 100-card decks probably have about 75 cards you don't need to print. They're cheaper just to buy them.
That's a solid point. I have infinite
maybe
amounts
you're
of
playing.
basic lands.
Pardon?
Maybe
that,
the
man?
decks you're playing.
What? I'm talking about the precons, knucklehead.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. These are premium decks. These probably are gonna. I have to hope they have value in them. I'm just maybe I'm sucking on copium, but I'm really hoping that these cards actually are good.
What do you think is the most before these? Because this
if they have fetch lands and shit in them, and they're actually good decks that people would actually
$5 a piece now.
But but no, some of them are still $30-$40. I mean, they won't be after they get reprinted later this year. But
it's not a special version.
Oh, right, because there are some we already know some of what's in
Misty Rainforest. It's minimum $25.
Okay,
I just sold
40
them for $36. I just sold them for $36.
Version, but I'm talking about the cheapest version
retro
you can buy. Okay, what about the cheapest version of Misty? It's like $15.
Probably it's probably $25 at least. Maybe even 30. Those have been going up. I don't know if they're going to go back down because I think they're getting reprinted later. Maybe even in Modern Horizons. I don't remember. I remember one of the fetch lands were getting reprinted later this year.
Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta.
Misty Rainforest is. Wait, is it not in here?
They might not have shown everything.
No, I think it's just those 5. So those are the enemy fetch lands or ally fetch lands. Yeah, those are ally fish
Bro,
lanes.
I don't understand how that works.
The colors that are good together. Well, like blue white Azorius, that's an ally. So those are.
I gotta
ally
say,
fish
I
lanes.
like this snow-covered waste. It just
Dude, do you
looks
really not know how to determine what's an ally and what's an enemy?
I mean, in real life,
In
I
Magic?
do.
No, I'm talking about in Magic.
Oh,
Seriously, you don't know
sorry.
this mechanic?
I just
Bring
took
up-
that a little
bring up-
personally right away for some
bring up-
reason. I didn't mean it's, that says a lot about me. Sorry.
So Modern Horizons 2, the Misty
Do you want me to
Rainforest
teach you guys
cheapest
something about
price is
Magic?
$20.
I assume it's just like on the backside of the card. If they're
Correct.
allied, it means they touch. If they're enemy, it means it's a cross. So like Boros are
Correct.
enemies.
Yes.
Like I get the concept. I just don't look at the back of a Magic card because there's never anything there for me to look at.
Okay, but
It's
Wooburg, you should know
it's
Wooburg
sleep.
pretty anyways.
I still don't understand why it's called Wooburg.
Bananas
Like,
to
that's-
monkeys, folks. Bananas to monkeys.
It's white, blue, black, red, green. Wooburg.
Speaking of bananas, when are we ever going to get a token that represents a banana?
Oh,
set?
no shit, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's something they could do. Even if it was in a secret lair, I would buy that secret lair if they had 5 different versions from
token?
5 different artists painting fucking banana tokens.
But you can just make your own.
I
There
did.
you go. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
You didn't
So
see
now you
mine
don't
that I
need to
made?
do a secret lair for it.
I'd like to have them just because.
So
I wouldn't pay any money
Here,
for
I
a
made
token.
these.
I think these look
Make
great.
those
I love this
as
art
my
style.
banana tokens.
I don't even know what to call this. What is
I
this,
paid
like
some amount
painted?
of cents for a token.
Samuel Bandini. Huh.
I've
I
just
made
been
a
happy with
Diddy
printing my own
Kong
cards out.
banana token.
Oh, I
that's
actually have
strange.
something to. I have a little bit of show and tell. I got some.
right.
I got some cool
Show
things.
us your
in-
teller. Here, so you can see it a little better, folks. My banana token for Kibo.
That does look pretty cool. Oh, it's what is that? Diddy Kong?
Yeah.
Diddy Kong. Yeah.
I never played much of that stuff.
I played a lot of it when I was
played the
younger.
shit out of Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
Yellow
Nintendo
Speedo,
64.
Bob and a Speedo. That will be my banana token.
I pretty
That
much played
is-
only Perfect Dark on N64. That was like the only game I played because you
Oh
could play
no,
against
Mario, the Mario World, Super Mario.
I liked
64
Mario
was dope.
Kart and
Killer Instinct Gold was another good one for
the
64.
Mario parties. Those were fun. But
That
when
was
those-
not
Mario
64.
was
Mario.
fun.
Well, maybe they did. I didn't play it
There
on
was
that.
some kind of Mario game for 64. I don't think it was. Maybe it was Party. I don't think it was Party yet.
I think Party came along for the Wii.
or the GameCube, maybe. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. GameCube was such a blink you missed it kind of game system.
Dude, bro, Dreamcast. That thing got that was a blip. Holy moly. If it wasn't for Crazy Taxi, nobody would ever
Crazy
even
Taxi
look
was pretty good for the
Dreamcast.
Sega Genesis.
So was the
the
Sega Game Shark, if you
the
don't remember
Dreamcast?
that one.
Oh, dude, Game Sharks and Game Genies. Yo, shout out to like old school hacks, huh?
Game Shark. And you played Sewer Shark and Game Shark. That was a
check
game
what
that
I
came with
got.
it.
How do I?
Oh, that's second.
Whoa, that's
oh,
the wrong thing. Ah, look at this.
Oh, I don't know how you. Oh, you.
We're so good at this, Pat. Nothing like being.
I removed myself.
Matt,
I have
Matt,
control
why
now,
don't you
so
do
I'm.
the thing. I'll sip my beer with two hands while you
Oh, is
take
this how you do
control
it?
of the editing.
I
Are
can
you
do
guys
it.
fighting over it? Is that what's happening?
So, anyways, this is a very look at the condition on this freaking book, man.
Dang.
This
Pretty
book
good.
is
That is
crisp
crisp.
AF.
And like the spine of it, you can see it hasn't been opened a bunch of times either. Like,
Yeah,
just,
I got this for 50.
yeah,
I think
wow.
like $50, and it has one thing you'll notice. It has no name signed in the front.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
name
it's
written on
kind
the
of
inside of
important.
it.
Yeah, they didn't write on the inside, so it's like actually like
Holy
Um,
moly.
but yeah,
Did you get that from like a Goodwill online or something?
well, just eBay. I paid. I was like looking to see like specific books. I wanted something that had like that was like not. That's not the right word to use. Not tainted. I
Gently
wanted like
used.
something that was a good quality. Now I did get another book. This is the book that I remember the most. And then as far as the Dungeon Master's
that's what
Guide,
that's the second edition.
I think that's the first edition, Player's Handbook.
No, it's not first edition. No, definitely not.
This is the book that I remember as the first edition.
No,
the first
bro.
book I ever looked.
Here, I'll pull up a first edition.
I don't know. It's 1978 is what it's.
No, that book.
I mean, this is a
definitely
50-year-old book, which is wild. But anyways, I have
No,
another book.
It's not. That's like late 80s.
This one is what it says it right inside the book. What do you mean?
I'm telling you, it's not.
It's lying to me.
Yes.
The book's a
1978
damn lie.
TSR. I mean, I don't know. Copyright 1980. Printed
Yeah,
in
that's
USA.
copyright. That's not the printing version.
January 1980. This one says June 1978. Anyways, the second thing that I got was this thing. Now, this is not as crispy, but it is still in really good condition. But you can tell the spine has a little bit more like
Yep, travel.
little bit more wear on it. It's a thicker book as well. The back's not as good as well. I would have bought this. I probably wouldn't have bought this had I known the condition. It looked in better condition than the actual it basically looked like that. We're like, yeah, it looks really, really good. But you can see like, I don't know if I can like try to get some
Yeah,
of
that's also the second
imperfections.
edition one.
Yeah, this is the book that I remember. There was another book with like the really ugly orc thing on top, and I didn't like that
Hold on,
one.
I'll show you the OGs, baby. I got them up here.
But yeah, you can see on the back there's like scratches and this one's
I
not
had
in
that one
great
too.
shape. It's well, I'd say it's like for a 50-year-old book. It's in pretty dang good shape.
Yeah,
And then
that's dope.
I even got like little one of them's a naked chick, so I'm not entirely sure. Probably want to remove that one. There's like little like miniatures that came with it, which is interesting. They're
Well,
like
back
little
then they would either be lead or pewter.
They're stop looking at me. There we go. Oh nope, Jesus. Hold on. There we go. Now you can't look at my face. Yeah, little like miniature dude. And these are pewter. I'm fairly sure they could be lead. They're painted, so I'm not entirely sure. And
Yeah, just don't rub your fingers in your eyes or put them in your mouth.
So that's the OG cover here.
Yeah, I don't like that one. It's ugly as fuck.
Well, that's okay. That's the original one,
and that's not the one that that's not the one that I used and grew up with. So
okay, well, I'm just saying, but that's the one I grew up with, and so I went back and bought it. But this one was published in 1978. Trying to think of trying to find where we can look at the second printing, which is 1983, the 6th print. That's when that one was printed. So it wasn't late 80s; it was early 80s. The one that you got.
Oh, Richie's out there kicking butt. He just took down Ball and Diablo, and he's looking to do it again on his second try. Nice.
See if I can. Oh, here. I got it. I hate when I switch a screen, but it doesn't. Like I'm not driving it. So here's it. This is where it shows it, Matt. God damn it! Where is it? Okay, so it's the eBay one I got. So I'm sorry, I'm so good at this, folks.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Here.
So
this
the bottom of
this
page,
version
printed in USA, 6 printing January 1980. Why would it say that if it wasn't printed on January of 1980? Like I don't understand what you're trying to say. It's right in the book.
It's printed in 1983.
It's not. It's 1980. Maybe that one's printed in 1983. Mine was printed in 1980. I don't know what to tell you.
But it's not second edition. So second edition is different, actually.
That's what I was saying. I knew it was the second edition. It's just the second.
It's the 6th printing.
6th edition. They had to change the art on the front just to make sure that it wasn't, like they're like people buy our new book,
which page did it give the? Was it on this page? And I just have to zoom in.
Yeah.
See when this one says, because it says it was printed in.
It's all around.
Richie, I think you put "looking for group" in the wrong chat.
Where was the print date that you were focusing on?
Second to the last line. His says 1982, so either he doesn't know what he's talking about, or it's dumb that they print the wrong date.
Dun dun dun.
Now I'm on.
Why would they say it was printed in January of 1980? It says it right in the book. Boom.
Oh, so about 2 weeks or so, I'm gonna start doing a live series. Not a live series, pardon, a recorded gameplay series. For Manor Lords when that comes out. It's medieval city building game.
On that. What is that? Is that like medieval? Is that like that medieval game that we were playing?
Very similar to like Farthest Frontiers or Medieval Dynasty. It's a top down, and it's not isometric, I think. Sometimes I misunderstand that term in general, but
Yeah, you know.
I'm pulling it up now so we can take a look-sees. And
it does. It says still states printing of January 1980.
so
Yeah, it's unclear. Either way, I'm very happy with the player's handbook. I'm semi-happy with the Dungeon Master's Guide. They are both the printings that I remember growing up with and reading and using when I was younger, playing when I was like 13. But so I'm very happy to have them. Now I just have to figure out how to display them. I'm not entirely sure
It
where
does
or how I want
say.
to display them.
Wow. So there were like, wow, I didn't even know this was a rabbit hole. But so apparently there were a ton of different printings of the AD&D handbook all the way up to the 10th, 11th. But it can tell you how to identify which one you have, even though all of them have the 1980 copyright on them, even though they were printed much later. Wait, hold on.
Those graphics look
Only
great.
up to the 8th.
yeah, it looks like
No.
it's
9th.
yeah, it was just
10th.
looking phenomenal. And the way that you're able to merge plots and really maximize your usage just looks like an optimizer's paradise. And I mean, as you can see, the graphics on this look incredible. Really going to be pushing.
I wonder
your
if those are like actual graphics or if those are just like, you know, those like fake graphics where
So
like you
funny
actually
thing is, people are already doing live plays of it. People that have been like giving codes by the game makers, and
Yeah.
it looks freaking incredibly good.
Did you see that Ark Ascended was free for a weekend? I didn't even know it was out.
I did.
But apparently it was free
Yeah.
like last weekend. I wish I would have known. I
Actually,
would have played it.
I just found out what it is. So the first printing with the wizard casting the spell rather than the two thieves prying the gems out of a large demon idol was the 9th one, was the very first one that was printed in 1983, even though it says states 6th printing January 1980. So that's a terrible thing inside it. They're printing it bad. But the first one that had that cover art on it was the 9th one. But the 9th plus 10th minus 10th and 11th all have that same cover art with different variations. I found a nerd page to figure it out. I can put the link.
And one of the interesting things about this, Matt, is they're incorporating some of the gameplay elements from like Frostpunk, where you have to make decisions, and it has more like everlasting effects on how your town builds. So like you have decisions whether or not like you want to take in a group of brigands that you've defeated in battle, and you can either get, you know, people that can help you build and train weapons, you know, train your soldiers better to use weapons, or maybe they're, you know, going to be criminals in your town. Or you could just kill them all, and then you have like unrest and you have to build a graveyard or something.
What's this called?
Manor
Lord.
And
I have not looked into it, but I've seen people talking about it. I've seen some buzz.
It's kind of like a Warcraft esque or Ages of Empires kind of feel.
Yeah.
Do you collect resources, or is it just you have like dudes that you make that do resource collecting?
Say that again.
Is it more top down, or is it actually like, do you like go into characters? I don't like that. If it's just top down, I'm kind of like eh.
It's
I've
mostly
seen
top
gameplay
down.
where you actually go in, like you actually can walk around as your real.
Nah, I think you can just zoom in a whole bunch and like follow a person, but for the most part, from what I understand, is it's mostly a top down building game.
I liked Medieval Dynasty because you could like run up to the person and like actually talk to them, be like, "Hey, I need you to go collect wood. Please go collect wood." And they're like, "Okay," and they'd go do it. That's cool to me. But like just clicking on somebody and going go collect wood is kind of, I don't know. It's okay. Like Bob was saying, it's kind of StarCraft-ish, like but like super slow version or Warcraft. I was never big into the Warcraft series. I played more StarCraft than Warcraft. I own all the StarCrafts.
I think by and by I ended up playing more StarCraft, but that's just because of like how adopted it was by other gamers and the time in which it was like really big. People were playing it online, and you didn't really have that with the Warcraft games.
There was definitely a cult following for Warcraft, but it was a smaller following.
Ooh.
It's interesting. Go ahead.
Does your copy? I'm just stuck on this now. It says for the ninth minus, I guess it says that the cover artist attribution is incorrectly referred to as D.A. Trampier, and the ninth plus says it's been corrected to Jeff Easley.
Is that on the actual cover itself?
No. I'm sure it's going to be like somewhere on like the first few pages or so, where it says cover art. Like the one that I showed you in that this one would be the ninth minus because it's right on that first page and it's in
says
big
cover
letters.
by Jeff Easley.
Oh, okay. So cover by Jeff Easley, then you're at least ninth plus, which was I guess 1983. That they stopped giving dates. That's weird.
Yeah, who needs to know? It says 1980 in the book. That's what I'm going off of.
Okay.
It was 1980 something.
I'm gonna try
I'm
to
just very happy.
figure out
The condition on the player's handbook is wild, and that's the one that came with the little like miniatures. And it was $50. It was like $52, which was a steal. The Dungeon Master's guy was also in the 50s. Not quite as much of a steal as the pictures made it out to be, but still happy regardless. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the pewter miniatures. I don't think they're actually like worth anything, and they have no meaning to me. But maybe they're not even based, so you can't even use them. But
they used to come with swappable bases. Like they had little like square pegs on the bottom of their feet, and you would slot them in
there. She's got a leaf over her private parts, and then they even like dotted little nipples with red.
Nice.
Yeah, very very tasteful.
Dude, I spent hours and hours painting them lead and pewter figurines back in the day.
I've painted one metal miniature, but I think it's upstairs, or is it?
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
This one here.
Richie got a paladin torch, huh? You're probably not even a paladin, are you?
Well, I'm sure he's got one. He's building the whole thing.
Doing that on purpose.
It's nice.
Yeah, it came out pretty dang good. A little dusty, but you know.
Was that your first torch that you got there, Richie, ever? Do we need one of those little things that pisses Matt off? Yay!
A stream deck.
Yeah.
We also need to get one of them bots that reads out when people become channel members. It just like reads it out or displays or something.
I'm not so against those. I feel like it's just disruptive. I would rather it just not have sounds, and I wouldn't mind having like music in the background, like some smooth jazz or some like some melodic dubstep or something, you know, just a little background music. I like background music in my videos. Actually, the shorts that I did, the fucking music was too quiet, which annoys me. But I'd already done 10. I'm glad I only did 10 or 12. I did like a week's worth. So the next time I do it, I even did like a pre-recording. I tested it and it sounded fine.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. And then like you move the mic a little bit, and now it's just like nope.
Yeah, in one of the shorts, I like leaned back, and you can actually like you could really tell that I was like leaning back, and I was like, all right, well, it is what it is.
I made 2 of those Aesop's Fable shorts, and I put that up in our content. If you two guys want to take a look at that, they're still like in the unlisted area. But I gotta say, I'm really happy with it. The weird thing is, and I noticed it after I made the first one, they're always going to be shorts. For the most part, I can read a paragraph at regular cadence, speaking speed, and they're under 60 seconds. So right off the bat, that's definitely just a interesting note. I don't think they'll ever be long.
Are they not long stories?
No, dude, they're like a paragraph each.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
there
I
you
thought they
go.
were
Do
like
Lord of
an
there you go.
actual.
Do Lord of the Rings one paragraph at a time.
If you ever want to like put in
Sure.
shorts, just move one of the shorts that I have listed and just like move it to a later date. If
Yeah,
you want
that
to
works.
like inject a short into the stream or into the schedule.
But I think once
Because
I
right
got
now
comfortable,
I
when I
think there was
started
like
getting
2 or 3
comfortable with,
days without any shorts, which sucked, but it is what it is. I forgot.
yeah, I think I'll try, Bob, to aim for doing some longer form content. When you kind of get in the zone, I could definitely read for 30 minutes out loud, and I think that would be good content, doing an entire series of reading a book. I was looking at doing the Iliad or the Odyssey, but it's hard to pronounce some of the
Ooh.
words that they wrote so many years ago.
I don't know how many people are going to hang with you for that. You're going to need something maybe like a Star Wars book, something more consumable.
Well,
Harry
one of the
Potter.
I think
issues
the
with
books,
that,
the Legends of Drizzt would be really, really good too.
oh, I would absolutely love it. It's just that I worry about the infringement side of it. How would
I
I
think that
like
matters.
attribute to those correctly?
I think reading a book is. I don't know that there is any copyright or anything that you have to worry about, but I'm not entirely sure.
If not, I mean, that's definitely something I should look more into because one, I would absolutely love to go back and reread some of the Driss novels, and it thematically would fit with our channel content really well. And also, one of the things I've really been
The
enjoying
Lord
is,
of the Rings.
yeah, I mean, reading The Hobbit, which is the only one of those that's good.
I'm just going to say skip the freaking songs and poems in them.
There's
Like his
songs
love
in the
affair
book.
with poems.
Oh,
Oh
dude,
my God,
it's
dude.
so bad.
Like
Like,
every other page.
yeah, and they're like a page long.
Why?
You
Yes,
could
they
honestly
are. It's
take out
so
20%.
annoying,
Do they
dude.
expect the reader to sing it? Like, what the hell? I don't.
Yeah,
I've never
they
even heard of
kind
that
of do.
before.
Yes,
Yeah.
he actually does.
What a psychopath!
Yeah,
It's
he was
the worst part of the books, to be honest, because he's trying to tell a story in song, but he's trying to
But
make it
people
feel
don't
like
sing in real life. I hate it.
What?
There's
Bro.
never
sing
been a
all the
time
time
where
in
I've
real
ever
life.
broken out in song in real life, and I don't get why movies do it.
I used to do it in the GOC. So I don't know what you're talking about. Sitting
Nobody
there,
does
just
that.
all of a sudden, I'm working. I'm just reluctantly crouched at the starting line, and then someone else will pick up and carry on. And it's I've done it at work. Sure.
Nobody.
I
does
mean, I
that.
hum and I vocalize to myself while I'm around the office building, but it's mostly just a tune of nothing, boo doop boop boop boop, that kind of shit. Like I'll just scat all the time. But I'm also a crazy person, Bob.
Yeah, and all over the office. Gross.
Yeah.
So
Well,
at any rate, at any rate, yeah, I'd say go for it. If they're going to copyright strike us, oh well, then we'll learn, right?
yeah, that's
I
a
think
good
a
point.
quick Google search will reveal whether or not it's okay or not. I'm sure. I have to imagine it's not.
You're only breaking the law when you get caught.
Well,
That is a good
realistically,
point.
the thing that's funny about the copyright thing is one of our videos. I Googled for session 0 of the campaign that I'm running. I Googled, or not Googled, but I went on YouTube background music for like D&D because I'm not using Sirenscape right now because I don't want to pay for it. We'll see if that continues because it's actually really nice not have to worry about copyright. But that video got copyright not struck, but it was copyright shared.
I had the same thing using when on one of the original videos that I made for the channel, and I was using the YouTube music. You know how they provide you the YouTube, and they gave me a strike for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys gave me the music.
You have to make sure that you have to pick the right YouTube ones because I've used that and I had no problem. You have to make sure you have to do free license for life.
Yes, it was free
no
license. It was free license YouTube provided music for content creators in their studio.
Well, I mean, there are ones that are copyrighted. You have to pay for the license in that thing. So, and there's also ones that are shared revenue in that same tool. I've used the tool before. It's cool. It's just
I'm saying the ones that were free. I only picked the ones that were free.
Well, they must be free with content sharing.
And the video was out there for like a year before it got hit. And I'm like, what?
We got copyright struck on one of the content creators that Nate was using for his campaign. It was Alex Nakarada. He's got a Patreon, and he allows people to use his music if you're a patron. And Nate is a patron, so when we got like warned for it, I was like, no. No. I'm like, talk to your guy because he's trying to. It's probably automated, so it's probably it's not that big a deal. But
And I think that that's part of the problem is they automate too much stuff and then they get confused and it's like, well, okay, that's weird.
Right, and
But
that's
whatever.
how Skynet kills everyone. They're like, we got to figure out a way for people to stop consuming so much water, so they kill all the people.
One of the videos has I tried to turn on monetization for it, and it was like, this has limited monetization use due to policies broken, and I'm like, oh, I swore in it. Damn it.
Yeah, right.
My bad.
So, anyways.
Yep.
What are you guys looking forward to this week? I'm not planning on doing any OTJ. I'm not ordering any of it. I'm not playing any of it. What you guys got on the
I contemplated logging on to the old arena and playing, but I mean, I would do it for content. I don't know if I would necessarily just do it for fun.
You still have access to my account, right?
Yeah, that's what I would be using. As long as you're still okay with it.
Do that with like a draft. People love being interactive with like helping you choose draft stuff.
You just don't have enough time. You have a minute to pick a card. Like, you just don't have time.
And there's like delay too.
Situations.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah, I'm cool with it, but like, also, I want to build a deck that I'm going to enjoy piloting. I'm not going to build a deck that some troll pick the crap card. I'm perfectly okay with drafting and then like explaining why I'm drafting each card and my reasons behind it, and then discussing those cards, what people would have what people would have picked over what I picked, or if they agreed, stuff like that's fine. And maybe they in a minute, if they can try to persuade me to pick a different card, maybe I'm cool with that as well. But yeah, that'd be something that I'd do. But honestly, what I'm looking forward to right now is tomorrow at 6:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be starting my campaign in the Underdark with my D&D group for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Oh, damn it! I meant to. Oh, you know what? I might be able to pull this up. I kind of totally glossed over the beginning of the week, folks.
Oh, no shit. Go for it, Richie. That'll be awesome, dude. Lemon Lime Aggro.
So yeah, that's going to be Underdark campaign with some politicalness. They're going to be trying to overthrow some houses in Menzelbransen and also remove the influence of Lolth from Menzelbransen and change them to basically worship either Mistra. I'm thinking Mistra seems cool. She's like the goddess of the weave, and there's a few different arcane towers in Menzelbransen that they are more magical than worship, than divine. So
now, what about
the weave makes more sense?
The Obladorans, the people that have like psionic mind powers, are they going to be playing part of the intrigue as well, or did they fall?
I don't even know who they are. I've never heard of them in my life.
Yeah, they were like a whole faction for a while. They were one of the lower houses, but they were still in like, I think 11. I think no, the ruling council's 8. Duh.
Yeah, the top ruling council is the 8 councils, and House Bonray is like the top dog that actually has. Realistically, it's a house of 8, but it's really a house of 1. Like from what I understand, Menzelbransen, there's like there's the council, but House Bonray has the full control of the house.
Yeah, because they're the ones that's like most blessed by Loth, and usually it just seems to work out that whoever's number 1 has like the combined power of the next few in line.
Well, the funny thing about that, I was reading about like there's a couple times where Loth has had to step in because her children were like a little too wild. She like likes them fighting for her attention, but then at the same time, she like doesn't like that there's like specific there's like certain criteria where she's like, no, you guys went too far. I got to come in and step in and like set things right, which is weird.
Yeah, so the eclipse happened. I got to see that as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that was right. That was Miss Sherry Vegas taking it on her phone. I was doing something different, but I had a filter over mine, so I was watching it during like the points where you could look at this with the naked eye. It was so freaky, dude.
Yeah, I was in the
we were in the path of totality
where I was up here, so I got to see it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like work was super slow down. They actually shut down the street that our office is on, and we had the worst traffic I've ever seen in the state of Vermont. It was straight gridlock. It took me 2 hours, give or take, to go about 20 miles.
Yeah, all of our hotels in Ohio were all full. They were like, and they were charging like crazy, it was like $400 or $500 a night for like some crappy hotel, just
Funny
just
thing
because
though,
of the
okay.
eclipse. It's wild.
It's just kind of a side note. We have like one area that has superchargers. There must have been 50 fucking Teslas in line all the way out to like the street where they were like starting to block an intersection because there were
Get
so
wrecked.
many people in line. But the eclipse, yeah, Bob, this was super cool. I'm glad that I was alive to experience this kind of thing. Kind of freaky.
I just
It was
slept.
definitely freaky.
I didn't care about the eclipse personally.
It was definitely worth seeing, in my opinion.
Yeah, my dad said it was like
one
one of the best things he's ever seen in his entire lifetime, and I'm like, well, I was sleeping, so oh well, it is what it is.
Don't worry, 2044 it'll come back.
I was gonna say it happens every 10, 20 years. Who cares? I'll see it again.
Yeah.
Maybe next time when I'm older and more mature, I'll go, ooh, fancy.
Matt and I are only about 15 minutes away from each other. We're up near the Cleveland area. Roughly. But
we're around Cleveland. Closer to Cleveland than Columbus, I'll tell you that.
Vermont? Yeah, central Vermont. But all of Vermont is pretty much upstate, realistically. Let's be honest. Canada is closer than Massachusetts to my house.
I'll tell you one thing.
I did want to thank everybody, before we get too far into this, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We appreciate everybody's time and all of our channel members for sure. Matt, if you want to share all of our wonderful channel members and give some recognition to that out there, I think it's great to do that every chance we get. We very much appreciate all of it.
Because I think some of them are not correct, but I can at least still show the previous one.
Yeah, you can take me off of that. You don't have to put me on there.
Boom.
So we just want to say thank you again to all of our channel members. We really appreciate all the support we get from you guys. It's very nice of you to do that. And since we're so good at this, because we always remember at the beginning, please smack that like button and share and subscribe if you have not. And we'll look to keep doing more for the channel members as we move forward into the future.
I'm making a. Oh, actually, one of the cool things that we had an achievement that Pat posted in our chat with ourselves. We hit 250,000 views across the channel, which is pretty cool.
It's a lot of people looking at
250,000. Those shorts are putting in work.
Heck yeah, man.
But as far as our channel members, I'm just going to double check that I haven't missed anybody that is new that isn't on this list. Memberships.
I think Prime's a member for right now. I think I gifted him a membership.
Love to see. There's the list. See your members. So yeah, I think Prime's probably the only one that's not on there. Richie's on there for sure. Twiddler's Palace is definitely on there. We've got Solar God. He's on there. Four Keeps Gaming's on there.
Thank you very much, Billy.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Coaches is. I need to add coaches, and I need to add in Prime. Those are the two that I need to add. And I don't know. Do we remove people?
Yeah,
probably. They're not active members, so yeah, I would need to remove.
Whoa, I don't want you to expire, Richie. I mean, geez, wow.
No, Diablo's killing him again.
Up tier? No, I'd rather have you around on the lower tier. Please don't do it when you expire. That would be very sad faced. Anywho, folks, thank you very much for coming out and sharing your time with us. We really do appreciate that, most of all, and interacting and chatting with us and sharing with us, our weekly experiences and adventures into cardboard and other things. So
yeah, I've got one more day of bowling this next Saturday, and then after that, the summertime is open game. There is a league going on Wednesday, which I might hop onto. We'll see. I want to continue around. I don't want to miss. But
May 25th, I won't be here. I'm hosting a party.
Okay.
But other than that, Thanks again, everybody. I don't know. You guys got anything to wrap up with? Because I'm thinking we're gonna bid them a farewell adieu.
No, until next time, stay frosty and keep on keeping on.
Okie dokie.